Yeah, so this video is gonna be about things that changed since I moved to Croatia, things I'm not used to, or things that I have to get used to since I moved to Croatia. So all the things that are accustomed here that weren't accustomed back in Canada. And don't forget to buy the merch at www.thisisbunjo.com. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into the video. This is the Bunjo Show. This is not your show. I traded the 905 for G-O-O. This is Bunjo Show. A thing I started doing when I moved to Croatia was walking cracking on the leash by the beach. The reason why I walk him on the leash is because there's lizards and he chases them. And lizards, the scales of lizards can kill your cat, and it's not safe for it. And he's an indoor cat, so I don't want him to catch all the fleas from all the street cats here. And basically, and I don't want him to get hit by a car, because these guys, they don't stop for animals like they do in Canada. They'll just run right through the boy, you know. My cat, he's bold. He just sits there on the road and lets a car honk. That's how he did it in Canada. So here they wouldn't have any of his bullshit, any of his attitude. They just hit him and kill him. So that's basically why I walk him on a leash. One of the most obvious things that I started doing since moving to Croatia is starting a YouTube channel. It gave me a reason, because before Croatia I kept putting it off, like, oh, what am I gonna film? Nobody's gonna be interested. But the truth of the matter is, don't listen to people around you. Just start YouTubing. Start filming everything. Start filming your daily routine. You never know what people are interested in. Shit, some of my videos that I think are boring as hell, people like them. So there you go, right? I didn't think people would like me cooking, but here they are, listening to me cook. I don't know why. So starting a YouTube channel is another one. That fact is a perfect segue to the next one. Cooking. I started cooking. I found my love for cooking again. I started cooking, and then another one from that segue is Vegeta. I started using Vegeta and everything. Never used Vegeta back in Canada when I cooked. I cooked maybe like almost 20 years ago. I liked cooking, and now I started cooking again, and now I use Vegeta almost in everything. I put that shit on everything. You know, Vegeta. Not Vegeta. Kamehameha, not that guy. Vegeta is the spice. Woo! A different kind of thing that changed me since moving to Croatia. In Canada, we used a 12-hour clock. We use PM and AM. But here, it makes a little more sense. I get it now. They use the 24-hour clock. So when it's 6 o'clock, it's fucking 18 o'clock. Which is kind of better, I think, because it makes more sense. Why is there an AM and PM, right? There's only 112, 124, so you don't get confused with the midnight and night for the noon and midnight. You know what I mean? So it's pretty crazy. 24-hour clock. There's another one. Another thing that I changed is watching the news. I don't watch the news anymore since moving to Croatia. I couldn't tell you any news thing unless if it's on Instagram. I don't even have cable TV, so news and TV. I don't really watch cable TV at all. I enjoy the outside more. Yeah, so thing that changed, news, TV. Yes, I don't watch that. Another thing that changed since moving to Croatia is I started using words like hvala, laku noć, dobar dan, dobro jutro, dobro večer. All these kind of things. Now I start saying jabuka, kruška, kupus. I started using my Croatian words a little more, and so learning a new language, I guess, or lack thereof, trying to, I guess. There's another thing that's changed since moving here. Before moving to Croatia, all I watched was Toronto FC and Arsenal FC for soccer, football, nogomet. Nogomet's Croatian for football, for soccer. But now, since moving here, I dropped Toronto FC because we don't get those stations. But I mean, I could pirate them online. but the games, they weren't really good anyways. I started watching the HNL, the Hrvatski National League, and supporting Hajduk Split. Before, my family is from Zagreb, and so I used to support Zagreb, but like since moving down here, I joined the team, bro. You gotta support Hajduk. Zagreb i Pička. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, so things that changed. Watching Hajduk Split football. Another thing that I changed since moving to Croatia is actually meeting people online. I never met people online before this. I was always too coward or a chicken out, or it's weird. In Canada, there's a thing called catfishing, but here you have these Facebook groups called expats in Split, expats meet up in Split, expats in Zadar, expats in Zagreb, and it's a perfect place to mingle and talk to fellow expats and get along and meet new people. And if you move to a country solo, you're never alone in those groups, because you can always meet up for a coffee with somebody, whether it be a friend. You can meet women, guys, whatever. It's pretty cool. Like, there's this one group, they do 5-a-side, which is a quick football on a basketball court. It's pretty cool, you know what I mean? So there's another thing that's changed since moving to Croatia. Woo! Another thing that's changed since moving to Croatia is the first when I got here, it was like, oh, look at this. Look at the view. The views, for one. I'm mistaken their bluntness and their straightforwardness, and I turned it into them being rude. But that's just the way they are. If they see a pear, they're gonna call it a pear. If they see a gay, they're gonna call it a gay. If it's, you know, if you ask a dumb question like, where's the washroom? And the washroom's right there, they're gonna be like, can't you see? Can't you read the sign? Simple, you know? So they're not being rude. And I'm sure another argument they will have is they're built off tourism. So when tourism goes down and you're here in the winter, they can let down their mask and be like, finally, I don't have to pretend to be nice. Because I mean, pretending to be nice or bending over backwards for tourists must suck a little bit. So there's another thing since moving to Croatia I got used to. Whew. Another thing that I got used to are these views. Look at the views. Everywhere you go, there's a spectacular view. Every city, Primošten, Dubrovnik, Split, Trogir, Zagreb, they all have amazing views. Over there, we got Šolta, we got Brač, we got Hvar. We got all these places, right? They all have their own amazing views. So the views, I mean, I'm never really got used to them. It's just like, because I'm still, every time I see a new place, I'm like, oh my God. And I jizz in my pants. Ah, you know? But yeah, I guess that's another thing I have to get used to, or that has changed, the views. Damn, boy, look how pretty this is. Sparkling. Another thing that's changed, or I got used to since moving to Croatia, is getting used to the beach filled with rocks instead of sand, and going for a daily swim in the beautiful Adriatic. Anybody can get used to this. The thing about the stones is, sometimes when they hit together, they sound like glass, which is pretty cool. And it's actually better because when you go out of the water, you don't get sand in your butt, your balls, your fucking eyes, your hair, and then you're shaking all day, sand out of your crotch, you know? We don't have that. We just come out and you're salty, so you just gotta rinse off real quick and then go eat at a restaurant. That's another thing I got used to. The stones on the beach and swimming every day. That brings me to another thing that I got used to, or that I admire now. See, I'm headed away from the beach and going for a hike through the forest now. Going for hikes every day and getting in touch with nature and being active outdoors. That's another thing I got used to, or that's changed in my life. In Hamilton, I'll tell you, it's easy to get lazy and just drink and stay inside and get depressed because it's always winter, it seems like. You know, you have two fucking months of good weather and that's it. So going for everyday hikes. There's another thing I got used to and everybody would love. Another thing that's changed, or that I got used to since moving to Croatia, is my farts smell like smoked meat. It's like, hey honey, is that you smoking meat again? No honey, it's just me farting. you know? Yeah, so there's another thing. My farts, they smell like smoked meat. I've been eating so much meat, it's crazy. So Croatia's barely vegan friendly, and that's good. I love that about Croatia. Fuck vegans. Another thing that I got used to since moving to Croatia is not rushing, you know? Let everything come naturally or fall into place. Here everything's so laid back. It's like, nah, we'll get to that tomorrow. The sink's broken, it's leaking water everywhere. Nah, we'll get it tomorrow. And then you're like, how far do I go until I get the split? 100 meters that way. So taking for what they say is not really true, and they're not really giving it an effort. So the laid backness, the not caringness is beautiful. That's what I love about Croatia too. Another thing I love about, that's changed since moving to Croatia, is getting used to all these damn hills. My island is so hilly, and if you don't practice on the treadmill before you come here or rent a car, you gonna be out of breath or maybe have a heart attack, boy. But look, everywhere I go is a huge hill, and perfect segue into that is buying a scooter. Driving a scooter. I know I walk a lot, but I also have a scooter. But for vlogging, I think it's better when you walk places. Just in my, as you take the bus to get to long places, and then you walk, and or if you're going to somewhere close, you get on your scooter. Yeah, in Canada, scooters are deemed as silly. Usually only people that get caught drinking and driving drive a scooter, or people on welfare. But here, scooters are natural, and everybody has one. Everybody has at least one. They usually have like 4, but that's it. So there's another thing that's changed since moving to Croatia. Driving a scooter. Another thing that's changed, well, not really changed, but is more prominent, is negative connotations to different business ventures that you might be having, or just business ventures in general. Everybody I met here, they're like, why are you doing YouTube? You know, it's like 1 in a million, and you'll get and you'll become famous. Oh, you should quit that, that's nonsense. Or, oh, your house, it needs lots of work. Lots of negative connotations. It's if you're soft-minded, it'll bring you down and make you not want to be here. But trust me, they all started somewhere, and they had the same problems. I'll guarantee you that. So screw them. Just do what you got to do and do what you love. And if they don't support you, they'll support you when you become famous or when you make it. Trust me. And that's another thing you got to get used to, the negative connotations. But I mean, they don't mean it. They're just not used to change, really, or something that's different. That's all. So woo. Another thing I got used to is or that's changed, is going out for a coffee to a bar. In Canada, I would never dare to do that. If you go to a bar, you drink beer or whiskey or something. But we have coffee stores, right? Like Tim Hortons and stuff. So that's where we used to go, to Tim Hortons, and have coffee to go. But before the pandemic, you don't have coffee to go. You sit down. If you ask somebody to go for a coffee, it's a 2-hour ordeal. It's not just a quick 5-minute thing, have a coffee and then see you on the way, right? That's not how it is. It's like a 2-hour ordeal. So yeah, going out to bars and cafes and having coffee, sitting and watching people and having a conversation. Never did that in Canada, really. So that's another thing I got used to, or that's changed. Another thing I got used to was FaceTiming all the time. I'm making a movie, baby. Yes, that's another thing I got used to. Always FaceTiming. Always talking on the FaceTime. Another thing that has changed, or that I got used to since moving to Croatia, is making my own coffee with one of these. So basically, you fill it up with water, you put this on top, and you pour some coffee on there. And then you screw this lid, and then you heat it up. So making my own coffee with these metal containers, that's another thing I got used to. And it tastes fantastico. And another thing I got used to, or has changed since moving to Croatia, is using milk on a shelf. Like this milk, when you buy it at the grocery store, It's on the shelf. It's hot milk. It's warm milk. It's room temperature. It's not kept in the fridge. So yeah, getting milk off the shelf, it's kind of weird because in Canada, we used to buy it by the bags. We also have it by the carton, but more common in Canada is in these little plastic bags, and we put them in this little milk jug, and then we pour it out. That's how we usually get our milk. So that's another thing I got used to. Yeah, so thanks for watching my video about things that I had to get used to or a big change from Canada to Croatia. Check out all my other videos and have a good day. Be blessed. And I'm going to enjoy my day and eat some sausages. Daddy, would you like some sausage? Daddy, would you like some sausages? Daddy, would you like some sausage? And I was picking my nose, and now my nose is bleeding because I fucking jammed it. Damn, that's what I got to get used to. Picking my nose.